Hey everyone. I don't have much time, so I'm just going to get right to the point. My name is Jordan Arith, and I host a podcast called Hop Heroes. Myself and two of my good friends discuss comic book stories while drinking delicious craft beer. You can find us on...
What's up, bro? What's going on here?
Oh, hey Zach. JR, how's it going?
It's going well, man. What are you up to?
Oh, you know, nothing much, just talking to myself, practicing lines. You know the drill.
Oh, really? Because it sounded like you were recording the promo without us. And I'm just really confused as to why you would go and do something like that.
I wasn't recording without you guys, and why did you knock when you came on? It's a podcast. That doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Hello, everyone. This is Zach Barlow, the host of Hop Heroes podcast.
You're not the host.
I am joined weekly by my counterparts, Jordan and JR, and we will break down Great Brew and discuss the comic book universe. You can find me every Wednesday on all podcast platforms, and these guys will be there as well, I guess.
This is probably why he didn't want you on the promo, Zach.
I'm the host of the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a special bonus episode of Hops Geek News, a podcast that talks about comic books, movies, TV shows, and beer. And if you've been following along lately, today on this bonus episode, we're going to talk about episodes Season 1, Episode 17, through Season 2, Episode 3 of Supernatural, because I gave into peer pressure, or whatever you want to call it, and I've been watching Supernatural, and so we're
gave into fun.
Yes, we are detailing this journey on both TikTok and talking about it on our episodes. So today we're going to talk about wrap up Season 1, get it a little bit into Season 2, and go from there. If this is your first time listening to us, search Hops Geek News on any social media platform, subscribe to us there, come hang out, have a good time, and then also Hops Geek News on any podcasting platform where you, again, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, go ahead, drop a good review. That's how we get to grow. Share with a friend who might like us, maybe if you don't, whatever it is. And then if you want to support the show, patreon.com/hopsgeeknews. We'd love to send you a care package as a welcome. And then also you get to pick what episodes we do as a Patreon. If you subscribe, hey, say you want to see more episodes of Supernatural. Well, by God, we'll do it. And with that said, as always, I'm Matt. With me is Lauren. Let's get this party started. When I last left you, Daddy came home. He was back. Dad was back. And then he left again. So the boys were off on their own
Damn you, Jeffrey
journey.
Dean Morgan.
And so they went to a haunted house called Hell House was the episode name. And some pretty interesting things happened there. Mr. Axeman, I don't remember his name again. I'm bad with names and all that kind of stuff.
Was it Mordecai?
It was Mordecai. You are right. So they go there and they couldn't really figure out a way to beat him. And so what I found really funny about this episode was Dean decided just to burn the house down. He was like, people, because basically Mordecai was living.
A tulpa.
He was an idea. So like the Hell House, they made people get spooked and he would adapt to an idea, and you can't really kill an idea. And so they thought, hey, were they Ghost Facers was their name?
Yeah, Ghost Facers.
Yeah, they went on their website. They didn't publish what Sam and Dean asked them to publish because they're assholes. And so Dean was just like, you know what? Screw this. And he burns the house down and is like, people can't visit this place if there's nowhere to visit. That might have been the most clever thing I saw, because that was amazing.
Yeah, and it was funny too how they're like, well, you know, so many people believe in Santa Claus. How come he doesn't visit me? And he's like, because you're a jerk or something like that.
Yeah, it was good. It was pretty fun.
But yeah, the whole tulpa thing, you get a funny tulpa joke in the future, and Ghost Facers definitely come back. And that's all I will say about that. But there is, you know, obviously Dean, when he's hiding in the bush to get the cops over, he says, who are you going to call?
Oh, yes. That was fun.
The characters Harry and Ed are Harry Spangler and Ed Zedmore, and that is nods to Egon Spangler and Winston Zedmore from Ghostbusters. So obviously there's a lot of Ghostbuster references over the years, and they did the whole parody with Hillywood. Once you get to a certain season, I'll make you watch the Hillywood parody, and that's the thing Carrie and I actually went to when you went to something else when we were at FanX in September.
That's right. There was some pretty cool stuff. I don't remember really what episodes were after that one, to be honest with you.
Here, hold on. I pulled it up. I got you. Next one after Hell House is Provenance. Provenance is, I think, one of the creepiest ones. That's the one with the painting and the ghost girl.
Oh yeah, the painting keeps oh yeah. So
and they thought it was the dad
all around, and we thought it was the dad, and he'd slash people's throats, but it turned out it was a little girl. Yeah, that was kind of a mind trip because you go to those places where there's paintings and it looks like their eyes are following you. It's kind of creepy. In anything to do with paintings, like this dude was painting hopping, but it wasn't him, obviously, and they tried to get the painting.
Well, they burned his bones first, so then he wasn't there to warn them anymore.
That's right. Yes, and so they had to deduce it, and then they burned it, and then why isn't this working? And yeah, so that was. And
it's interesting those creepy fun facts that you get too. That like they used to make actual dolls with little girls' real hair.
Yeah, like those little. What are they? Little girl? What's the name? They were like those big collections. It's like a certain brand of dolls, American Girl dolls. That's what it was.
American Girl dolls are not creepy. They are majestic and beautiful. And I'm still mad I never got one because they were too expensive.
All dolls are creepy.
No, not Kirsten. She's perfect.
All of them.
I wouldn't know. My mom's like, I'll buy her for you now. I'm like, she's discontinued, Mom.
First of all, Mom, no thank you. I needed it when I was a child.
She bought both of my girls one, and then they came out with a Logan doll the year Logan was born, and she was about to buy him one. I'm like, it is $100 doll. Do not buy the infant $100 doll.
Yes.
But yes, Jensen Ackles has said his scariest episode, there's a doll one coming up soon for you. He said the doll ones and then the benders were the creepiest. The little girl does come back, and I want to say like season 14 or 15 as a completely different character. But I love that they bring back these creepy little kids in different roles.
As one does.
So your next one was Dead Man's Blood.
What was that one about again? You got to refresh my memory with these things. I'm sorry, folks.
To obtain a mystic gun capable of destroying the demon that killed their mother, Sam and Dean must team up with their father and face off against vampires. So it's when they find that nest of vampires.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I remember that one because then the next one is the final 2 episodes, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I vaguely remember the vampire one, but I do remember the finale. So that's when, what's her face comes back. The demon has possessed
Meg.
Yeah, that demon's a real asshole.
Yeah.
Like, what's his deal? Do we find out what his deal is?
Oh, you're talking about Yellow Eyes?
Yeah.
Or Meg. Okay, Yellow Eyes. Yeah, you find out a lot more about Yellow Eyes over the next few years. And you find out more about Meg, too.
It's a few-year ordeal. Oh.
A lot of these are, some of these are slow burns. And I will tell you, yeah, Meg is they're both slow burns.
So when we leave Meg, she was corrupted by the zombie, not the zombie, by the demon was all up in her. And there was another guy who comes up and out, and it's basically, they set a ploy. They split up, right? So there's a family, they figure out that they go after like the kids and things. So Sam finds the mother and has these premonitions, and he figures out where the demon's going to pop up next, while the dad, John, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he goes and gets called by Meg, like, hey, come alone, basically all that. So he brings the fake gun that could kill the demon. And that's when the other demon shoots Meg, all that stuff. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
She gets so mad.
Yeah. I mean, you would too. But that said, he gets away. Jeffrey Dean Morgan gets away. The house burns down when they save the mom and the dad and the baby. And that's when they're like, okay, well, now we've got your dad. And we've killed him. You think he's dead, and this leads you into the finale, which that was a really strong finale, personally, especially for a first season of a show. This is one of the stronger finales of a first season, because a lot of shows don't really find their groove until the second, third season, whatever it may be. But I will say props to Supernatural. They had their groove from the get-go, and they finished strong. We're in a major cliffhanger, but one thing I really appreciate too is that Dean struggles with the fact that he finds it easy to just kill people. So he uses the gun, they find their dad, all that stuff, and he uses the gun. I should back up. I'm sorry. Meg, they kidnap Meg, they do all some sorts of magic stuff to pull the demon out, and basically she dies. Or
They just speak Latin. They just exercise her.
yeah, she gets exercised, but her gunshot wound, and she starts all the wounds that she suffered.
I will say what's frustrating, which I never got, was the actual person was Meg Masters, but the demon goes by Meg and continues to go by Meg. And I don't fully get that. I feel like they do that a couple times with different whatever. But so this, I don't know why.
Right.
But look, there you go. But the actual person is Meg Masters. That is confirmed.
Got you. Well, yeah, when we leave her, they're at the farm, which looked like Idaho, because I thought the dude had Idaho plates. I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, she's left
where she was exercised was Sioux Falls, because that's where Bobby lives, and they were at Bobby's house. But Bobby owns a salvage yard, so he could have all sorts of different license plates on different cars there.
That would explain it, because I could have sworn I saw an Idaho thing. But yeah, so she gets exercised. We leave her. They find the dad. He's alive. He's basically drugged up, and they
or
sneak
is
in.
he?
True,
because he's possessed at that point.
Yeah, you don't know this though.
Right.
You don't know this. So they think the dad's tied up, and it's an apartment complex. They basically, to get the demons off guard, they dress up like firefighters and bust in and lock them in the closet, which is pretty funny. And they get their dad out, and they pull chocks. They're gone. And that's when in the alleyway, Dean shoots the other demon. And he was like, wow, I didn't even hesitate, because they're talking.
Because he now realizes it's a person. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, that was a person. Like, we're just killing all these people and these beings, and it's really easy for me. And that's something he struggles with, which I like that aspect, because you're humanizing them. Yeah. They're hunters, but now it's like, hey, these are actual people, which we'll get into in season 2 in a minute. But of course, he catches on when he was like, Dad, you would have kicked my ass basically for using a bullet. And
my
that's when we
demon's
find
too
out.
nice for you. Yeah, too polite.
And now John's possessed. And so Sam, instead of shooting him, shoots him in the leg. And so everybody's all wounded. The one thing I will say, poor Sam. Sam gets his ass beat a lot in this show.
Sam gets knocked out constantly. I feel like for how many times this boy gets knocked out, he should have like worse brain damage than the most knocked out football player out there.
Saying, like,
and but listening to because I've listened to so many podcasts and whatnot, and I've been listening to the Now and Then podcast. As you've been watching the episodes, I've been listening to those to get some fun facts, and they interview people from the show. Like, part of the reason I feel like season 1 was done so well and so dark was because of the people they had on it. Like Ken Manners was a big one, and like he did 21 Jump Street, he did X-Files, like he did, quite a few. But shit, I lost my train of thought. I have too much to say, and I forgot what I was saying.
Like, I have learned very early on that anytime Sam and Dean split up, bad news for Sam. Sam gets kidnapped. Sam gets beat up. Anytime they split, or like when they're
I remember what
they're fighting a demon or something together, for whatever reason, poor Sam is the first to get beat down. I'm like, my God, why are we always beating Sam up?
Well, and that's what it is. Sam in real life, he's like 6'5" or something. And then when they wear these boots in the show too. So I guess Dean in real life is like 6'2" and Sam's like 6'5". And that doesn't show in the earlier seasons at all. Like I remember somebody saying something about them being short, and like Jensen has said, the first thing most people say to me is, "Oh, I thought you were going to be shorter." And so they've made jokes on the podcast, like, how do they knock him out all the time? Like they have a step stool. Like how do they get up there? Again,
like poor Sam, just always getting thrown around. And once again, he kind of gets beat up. Dean actually gets his ass beat in this episode, where like the demon's sitting there, Yellow Eyes is like pulling his blood out of him. It's pretty dark. And then Sam shoots John in the leg, and that's when the demon leaves. And so they hop in the car and go. And I thought, oh, okay, the demon's gone now. They're driving to maybe a hospital or something. That's how the season's going to end on a
They're in Baby. Note. They should be safe.
Yeah. No, they get hit by a car. Car is totaled. They're knocked out. Cliffhanger. I didn't expect that.
So the car was supposed to flip, and it got stuck on the semi. Oh. So it was supposed to like flip, and then the driver was going to keep driving, and you were just going to see that he had black eyes. But because it got stuck on it, they ran with it, and and I liked that more, because you had the driver get out and go back human and be like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?"
Oh yeah.
That makes awesome. More sense then that they ended up at the hospital, because the truck driver called the cops.
Yeah.
But to backtrack to the episode before that, Salvation, with the woman with the infant, which she comes back as a completely different character. So this was season 1. It was still filmed back then, and a lot of practical effects because it was only 2005. That explosion, they actually exploded the top part of the house. And I've heard multiple people make comments about, like, I have never worn a nightgown to sleep, at least not since I was like a child. Never once have I worn an actual nightgown. And so you see, even Jessica has one on after she had this cute little Smurf thing on and these cute little boy shorts underwear, and Mary had one on. So the reason they do that is because they had to hide the pulleys and stuff to get her on the ceiling and have her be, you know, thrown across the room. So the nightgowns are hiding the pulleys and the straps and stuff.
College girl is wearing nightgowns and muumuus to bed.
No, I don't know any middle-aged women that wear nightgowns.
I don't know anybody who does if you're below the age of 85. No.
That is fair. I've never seen my mom in a nightgown.
That's actually clever though, because now you can CGI stuff out.
Yeah. And here's my last fun fact for season 1 is so Jim Beaver shows up in season 1 and Bobby Singer obviously becomes a staple. We love and know, you know, Bobby Singer. He wasn't supposed to be in this finale. It was actually supposed to be Missouri coming back, but she had scheduling conflicts. So they brought Jim Beaver in to play Bobby Singer. And obviously, you know, they immediately kept him on for season 2.
That makes sense. So yeah, Bloodlust, was that an episode in season 1?
So first, the Bloodlust was season 2.
Okay, we'll get to season. So we're rolling to season 2 now. Season 2 opens up, picking up from that cliffhanger. The demon gets out. Of course, he has black eyes. That's how you know he's possessed.
But is it a good time to die? I think.
And so,
in my time of dying.
Yeah, so Sam's like, I'll shoot you. And the demon's like, you wouldn't waste your last bullet. The whole Mexican standoff. They get rushed to the hospital. The demon leaves because the guy leaves the guy. And that's when basically Dean's dying. And Sam somehow, I guess because he was the driver, maybe he comes out pretty unscathed. Jeffrey Dean Morgan has a broken arm, stuff like that. But Dean's dying. And that's when he sees the other demon.
Reaper.
Yeah, the
Tessa.
Reaper. So he's out of his body. And going through this whole thing, and that's when he finds the Reaper. Doesn't know it's the Reaper at first, turns out it is. And then Yellow Eyes comes back because John goes and lures him out, and he's like, I'm not going to kill you, I need to make a deal. So the deal, comes to find out, is his life for Dean's. And after Dean comes back to life, that's when Jeffrey Dean Morgan's like, can we stop fighting, Sam? Like, stop fighting. And he says
tries to make his peace.
Yeah, he says his goodbyes, and then yeah, he dies, which is, I didn't expect that at all. I didn't think he was dying that episode. I was like, oh, they're going to split back up. Everything's fine. Dean will somehow come out. No, John gave his life. Didn't expect that. Did not see that coming. And that's a pretty big plot point now, because in season 2, they're dealing with that. Dean's dealing with a lot of grief and struggles and things of that nature. And he's also still humanizing the fact that they're just killing, and he's doing it so easy. As we see in episode 3 of season 2, he has no problem killing the vampire. He's like, it's scary how easy I did it, and I almost enjoyed it. So I'm really enjoying that aspect. They're playing into the grief, and it's really cool.
Yeah, they're playing in the gray area because I feel like they were raised very black and white. Like, if it's evil, kill it.
Well, Sterling K. Brown.
Oh my gosh, how much do you hate him?
Like, again, as soon as I see all these cameos, like Wayne. Or Jared Kiso, Wayne from Letterkenny.
That's right. You're on episode 4 of season 2, not 3.
And so I see Sterling K. Brown. Everybody see him like, oh my God, that's blah, blah, blah. It's hilarious at this point. But yeah, Sterling K. Brown.
I love that it's hilarious because every time I say it, you used to roll your eyes.
And now it's like, they were in Supernatural? They were in Supernatural? Oh, what have I become?
It's 3 degrees of Supernatural, not even 7.
Hilarious.
It's 3.
It's hilarious. But Sterling K. Brown, his Gordon, he's a hunter too. And he's like, it's black or white, but it's not. And so that's what we're finding out. And that's what I enjoy, because there's gray area. Nothing is black and white. So I'm enjoying that they're playing into that gray area.
Yeah. And I love that they're struggling with it it too.
Yeah.
Because you even hear him say in Phantom Traveler, which I think is episode 4, when he's like, demons, like that's not really our gig. You know, they basically say like that's above our pay grade, which means when they were being raised as hunters, they never really dealt with demons. So then they didn't really know it. So like when Bobby was like, hey, and you find out, do you know how Bobby got into hunting? They didn't say that yet, right?
No.
Okay, so they get into that later. So you kind of learn why he's like, okay, you guys need to stop and realize there's, you know, a real girl in there. And then he's like, okay, well, she's gonna die.
Yeah.
But I love the gray area. And Gordon's not done either. His story is not done.
No, I know he shows up in a few episodes. I looked because I was like, it's a young Sterling K. Brown. He looks the same, but at first I was like, is that who I think it is? And then of course I looked and he's in like 3 or 4 episodes. So
what's really annoying is, and I didn't realize this till I went back and rewatched and I was like, oh, I didn't realize. And then it's so Ty Olsson, the one vampire that's the bartender. So he's in this episode as I don't remember his name. He's a vampire. And that's the end of him in this episode. He comes back seasons later as another vampire, but completely different.
Look, you got to work with what you got. Okay.
I love him as the other vampire. It's one of my favorite storylines with him. But the fact that he was a vamp before and was not this other person at all, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
all the other people was very subtle, and I didn't notice it until I was like, wait, why do they look familiar? Oh, they had a minor role as a nurse here, and years later they're a demon or whatever. But yeah, so you're going to see him again, but it's not going to be the same person.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Well, there's some cool fun facts that you have written down though, such as vampire teeth were real, and then later seasons they become digital, and the practical ones they're able to talk in better. So they're able to talk.
So they evolve over the 15 years.
Huh. I thought the vampire teeth were kind of cool because they're not the 2 pointy fangs you normally see. There's like a bunch of teeth.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's cool. And then go ahead.
No, you're good.
The fact that Bruce Campbell was almost in the show.
Oh yeah. So Kripke had, very specific vision for the show. And he's called it like his own little metaverse of Star Wars before, because to him it was Baby is the Millennium Falcon and Dean is Han Solo.
That's very fair. I see it.
Sam is Luke Skywalker, and they're traveling the country, fighting evil. And obviously there's so many nods to all of it. You could even relate like the whole Hunter's funeral where they burned him. Kind of looks like Darth Vader's funeral. But yeah, so Jeffrey Dean Morgan was only supposed to be in the pilot originally, and because he's only like 11 years older than Jensen, and he's supposed to play his father, but in the flashback, it made sense. So then this episodes later, when they were fast forwarding and now he's got a 26-year-old son, they were going to cast somebody else, and Kripke really wanted Bruce Campbell. And when they couldn't get Bruce Campbell, Jeffrey Dean Morgan had just kind of taken off in popularity because he was on Grey's Anatomy that same time as Denny. And which I will get to that later when you get to season 4. I have some comments about that. And so they're like, well, let's just bring Jeffrey Dean Morgan in, add a little gray to his hair and, grow out the beard and just have him look rough. I had honestly thought that was their original intention, like make him clean shaven and then rough him up.
For sure.
And the show's so dark in the first couple seasons, which I actually found out why today. So Serge, one of the camera directors, he was camera director for years. Part of the reason the show lasted so long too is the cast and crew honestly are friends. Yeah. And so they all seem to genuinely love working together. And you can hear that in the interviews and the fact that they have conventions for just literally Supernatural. And so there was something you could do on real film where you take something out that you're supposed to do to lighten up the film, and he wasn't doing that in season 1 and 2 when it was on camera. And then it went from WB the first season to then CW, and CW is like, you need to lighten it up.
That makes sense.
And that's why later
yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Oh,
the coffee cup scene where Sam drops the coffee and it lands like perfectly straight. Apparently they filmed that in slow motion. And apparently when it happened, the whole crew like erupted in applause because it landed correctly.
I would too.
And this is my last fun fact. Jared actually breaks his arm in the episode Bloodlust. And he did not realize until later. So that's why you see at the end of the zombie episode, he goes, I think she broke my arm. So he does have a broken arm. So you'll see in the next episode, he'll have a cast.
All right. Bloodlust, is that the one I'm on now? Which
Bloodlust is the one with Sterling K. Brown.
Oh, I see. I'm bad about the names. Oh, that makes
The
sense.
one with Letter Kenny. I think that's Children Don't Play with Dead Things. Yeah, children shouldn't play with dead things.
Children should play dead things is the one with where she basically become yes.
She's a zombie,
right.
yeah.
That's right. Where he brings her back to life because the guy, the best friend was stuck. Yeah, that's right. That one was an interesting episode. The clown episode. Kids. No kid is going to be. No, I know there was other things at play, but like, tell you,
you met Ash and Ellen.
Straight up, my kids try to be like, hey, look at this clown. I'm gonna slap him upside the head. Be like, nope, you're on your own. You're going up to adoption. Nope, ain't nobody bringing no clowns into my house because that clown was creepy as hell, man. No, thank you.
Yeah, my cousin skips that episode every single time. There's a few clown ones, but that's definitely the creepiest clown one. I think
that clown was terrifying, man.
The other clown one's kind of funny. But yeah, this one's creepy.
I don't have a problem with like clowns are creepy. Like it didn't scare me, but I was just like, nope. That was one of the ones I was like,
doesn't pass the vibe check.
We're not doing this. Fuck them kids. Not doing this. Not doing it. Like if you get woken up in the middle of the night by your kid and they're with this holding hands with this creep, no.
They're holding hands with anybody you don't know in the middle of the night and waking you up.
Absolutely.
I can't even fathom the sheer terror.
I'm telling you. So, but yeah, I remember now. It's right. The zombie. So I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. I'll be honest with you. Quite enjoying myself. And again, with the cameos, I'm like, oh shoot, that's this person. That's this person. That's also making it kind of fun. So I'm having fun. I am having fun. There, you got it. I'm having fun.
That's more than I could ask for.
And it's fun for the wife and I to sit there and watch it because she watched it all, but now she's rewatching it. So we kind of rewatch it together and we're into it. And
well, she texted me one night when you guys first started. She's like, I don't want to like ruin this or anything, but I just asked Matt what he wanted to watch and he said Supernatural.
It happens. There you go. So we're watching Supernatural. I'm up to season 2, episode 4, and we're journeying along. We're journeying along, folks. I hope you're enjoying this journey. That's all for our Supernatural.
On the road so far.
That's right. That's right. On the road so far. We're traveling.
Riding in Dad's car.
All over the place. I am curious, like baby mysteriously comes looking the exact same after they rebuilt and all that stuff. Interesting, but whatever.
I spent a lot of time on that car.
We did.
They actually do go into a little bit of that later.
Okay, there you go. See, I just keep watching, as everybody says.
Just like Dory, just keep watching.
God, if I had $1 every time I got told to keep watching, I'd be a rich man right now. But that's what you got to do, right? You've all seen it. I haven't. Just keep. I would tell somebody the same exact thing, so I can't blame you for that.
Sorry, we recorded the Lego episode tonight, and the Legos are actually relevant to Baby, but you'll find that out later.
All right. Look at that. Everything connects. Fucking, I wouldn't be surprised if like the presidential elections somehow have a part with Supernatural too. Like they
they definitely do.
I don't know at this point. So
that's not for a while though. Actually, there's a few comments about different. Like, there's a comment about Obama and a comment about Trump. I'm 100% serious.
Jesus. All right.
And they're both funny comments.
I guess I'll get there when I get there then.
You will.
Yeah. All right. Of course there is. Who knew? I'm going to be eating breakfast tomorrow. But like somehow this relates to Supernatural, and it will.
What are you going to be eating? Let me know and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Is it pig and a poke?
Nope. It's
I can't wait for you to get to that.
Eggs and gluten-free bread. But yeah, that's been our episode. We're here. We're trucking along. Hope you enjoy. As always, find us on any podcasting platform. Hopsgeek News. Patreon.com/HopsgeekNews. HopsgeekNews.threadless.com for our merch. Maybe we'll make a Supernatural design here at some point soon.
Our latest design does have Baby on it, though.
It does. Our latest design does have Baby on it. And that was before I even started watching the show. I did that as a tribute to Lauren, and look at that. Now it works out. So thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you next time on our Supernatural bonus, and check out all of our regular episodes if that's your thing.